Alright, boys and girls, right now what you're going to do is work on some stretching here. So I'm going to show you a few stretches. The first stretch is this one called the figure 4 stretch. And the reason why we call it the figure 4 stretch is because if you look at my legs here, they're kind of in like the shape of the letter 4. Alright, so that's where we get the word figure 4. But if you watch what I'm doing here, I got my arms out straight. Alright, and you want your arms kind of reaching out towards your toe, okay? And of course your other foot is kind of in against your knee. The next thing you want is your head down. You want that head down, and you're working on a nice stretch of this leg. You want that leg being stretched. You're going to kind of loosen that one up. So again, this is called the figure 4 stretch, and you're going to be in this position for about 4 or 5 real deep breaths. All right, so if you watch me stretch here, all I'm doing is just letting my leg loosen up. I'm not forcing it. Take a few breaths, and then I'm going to switch legs here. So I'm going to bring my foot in right here. I'm going to bring this foot in, and then I'm also going to have this leg as straight as I possibly can. Now, you may have your knee bent. This knee can bend a little, and the longer you hold the stretch, the more it'll straighten out. All right. You can also kind of get those arms straight, so that way as you breathe out, you're then going to lean forward and get a good stretch in there. And again, you're going to keep your head down as you do your stretch. You're also going to keep your arms out, and it's all right to just breathe in and out for about 4 or 5 breaths. You're going to do the figure 4 stretch. So this is one of your stretches. You go back and forth every 4 or 5 breaths. You switch legs, and it's a great stretch for your hamstring, which is the under part of your leg, kind of the back of your leg there. And it can also stretch out your calf muscle, which is like in this area. Okay, so watch me switch legs one more time. I take my deep breath, and there you have it, boys and girls. That's the figure 4 stretch. Alright, boys and girls, right now we're going to take a look at the runner stretch here. So if you watch what I do here, I'm going to spread my feet apart so they're a little wider than my shoulders. So if you look at my feet here, if I drew a straight line up, it's a little bit farther than my shoulders. There is some space there, okay? But I get a good balance. I'm going to bend right here at my waist, okay? And then as I go slower down, I'm going to get my hands on the ground. I'm going to put my head down, all right? And now at this point I'm stretching the back of my legs here. Alright. Then I'm going to loosen up, and I'm going to lean to one side. I got my eyes up, and then I'm going to stretch in the inner part of my legs. Alright. And I'm also stretching the top part of this other leg that's on this side. Okay. So I'm going to work on that side, maybe for a breath or two. I'm going to just work on stretching. And then I'm going to slowly go on to the other side. I'm going to stretch that part. Alright, and as I do that, make sure that you keep your hands on the floor for balance. Okay, and then you're going to continue to work through this stretch. You might want to go back and forth. Then I'm going to turn my body here. Alright, so I have my foot up, pointing up towards the sky. I have both hands between my legs there, and then I'm going to straighten that foot out and kind of get a nice stretch there. Then I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to stretch this leg out here. I'm going to stretch up here. Alright, I'm going to do my best to try to keep my back straight. Okay, and that's kind of a tough thing. You have to kind of let the stretch work itself out. So you continue to stretch, and then watch what I do here. I'm going to start to turn a little slower. Get my hands on both sides of my leg. That foot's going to be nice and straight, pointing towards the ceiling. And now I'm going to lean forward. Alright, notice my hands. I got hand here, okay? And again, I'm stretching that back part of my leg, and I'm loosening everything up. I'm going to walk my hands back to where I started. Notice my feet here. They're wide. I got a good, nice base there. And then, boys and girls, you're going to stop here. And if you want to go through the stretch again, you can do that. Or you can finish by just standing straight up and taking a deep breath. Okay, so boys and girls, this one was actually called the runner stretch. Okay, boys and girls, this one is called the downward dog stretch. And if you notice, the first thing I do is as I take a deep breath in, I'm going to get my arms up high, all right, and I want to try to straighten out my body here so that I'm perfectly ready to fold at my waist. All right, so now I fold at my waist right here. I'm folding at my waist, and I'm going to just let my body hang down as I put my hands down on the floor right there. All right, and then I'm going to just work on stretching the back part of my legs here, the upper part, which is your hamstrings. I'm also going to stretch out my calves. Notice that I keep my head here kind of in between my elbows, all right? So I should have a nice straight line there, okay? And again, this is called the downward dog stretch. And if you want, you can kind of move your knees, bend one knee at a time back and forth to get a nice good stretch here, all right? And you kind of just move back and forth slowly. You can inch your feet up. Get a good stretch and come slowly up. Notice that my head here is going to be the last thing that comes up. All right, take a look at my head. Come back up. My arms go back up in the air. And I'm going to go through the same routine. Fold at my waist. Put my hands on the floor. And this time I jumped back. And again, I'm going to strengthen or stretch the back parts of my legs here. All right, I'm going to move my knees back and forth. And I'm getting a good stretch. I walk it back up. And I'm going to slowly get my body straight. Get my arms back in the air. I'm going to take my deep breath in. I'm going to breathe out. And now... Okay, boys and girls, what we're going to do here is demonstrate the locomotor movement called the leap. And we're also going to demonstrate the course that we're going to use to practice the leap here. So watch Mr. C. He's going to start here at a station called Station 1. And you'll notice the spot right there. It has a 1 on it. All right. And then what he's going to do is just work on practicing this thing called the leap. It's a locomotor movement. He's going to run up, and you'll be with a group of people. And right here, he's going to start off his left foot. All right. And he's going to leap into the air on one foot. So here he goes. He's going to take off that left foot, and then now he's going to land on the right foot here. So watch how he lands. Boom, right on that right foot. Okay, so if I take it back, he goes off of one foot, that's his left, and then he lands on the right. Okay, and if you notice what he's leaping over this little alligator kind of creek here, and you'll notice how there's a green line here, all right, and then there's also a red line which is right here, okay? So that's the space you have to jump. And what you can do is you can either jump this small end, which is kind of small area. You can jump in the middle, or you can jump way down here, which is a little bit farther. So you decide on which area you want to jump, and you're going to do like Mr. C did here. Go off one foot, land on the other, and then you're going to continue to go around kind of in this direction here, all right? And you're just going to be jogging like Mr. C is here. And watch what he does. He comes up to Station 2, and there's the 2 sign, so you know where it is. And then he's going to start right on this red line. He's going to try to jump either a small cone, maybe he'll jump a medium-sized cone, or maybe he'll jump this larger cone right there, or actually leap it. So let's see what he does here. He goes off of that 1 foot, he goes off the larger cone, and he lands on the opposite foot. And then he's going to, again, just keep going in this direction. So watch what he does here. He's going to leap over these alligators, or maybe they're fish. I can't quite tell. But he leaps over, and again, still going in this direction. Now he's coming around. Now he's going to leap for height here. This is station number 4. Watch what he does. Mr. C is going to pick which one he wants to go for, leaping off the left foot. And then he's going to go up into the air. Notice how both feet are in the air for Mr. C, and then he's going to just tap the scarf as he lands on the opposite foot. He doesn't grab it or anything like that. So let's watch Mr. C here. He's going to go just in a 3rd gear. He's jogging around. He's going to go off the left, land on the right. Goes around the circle, Station 2. He picks a cone. Boom, lands again. Left foot, lands on the right. Notice he's just going in 3rd gear. Now he picks a scarf. He's going to go up, tap the scarf. And boys and girls, there you have it. There's the leap and our leaping course.